PPC audit for the first thing we do here at Trivium is we go into reports, we go to business reports, we go to detail page sales and traffic by parent item. And what that does for us is it gives us a look at your total sessions, and this is across organic and ads. So around 14,000 sessions in the last 30 days. And then if we look at your unit session percentage, which is basically your conversion rate, and then we see right around 11%, I would say. And then coming up into your campaigns, you've spent around $16,000 in ad spend in the last 30 days. So if we take that $16,000 divided by 14,000, looking at right around, I think $1.15 per session is what you're currently paying. And if we look at your conversion rate, right around 11%, you're looking at right around $10.38 is what it's currently costing you for each conversion, because right around 9 people, for every 9 people that visit your listing, you get 1 conversion. So it's costing you right around $10.40 for each conversion. And if we come into your product, we see your product's $50. So, taking $10 off per conversion, that's not terrible, but obviously we want to do anything we can to, lower that cost per conversion. So if you come in here, you could do anything to increase your conversion rate. So we come to your listing. I love the main image. I think that's awesome. You got a wedge pillow. You got this amazing packaging, high quality image, high quality photo all together. So I think that's great. You could test different type things to increase your conversion rate. Split testing that main image if you're brand registered, which I believe you are. You could split test that main image, maybe put the wedge the other way, move the box, see what some of your competitors are doing, and you can consistently split test the main image, making minor changes. And then over time, it'll increase your conversion rate 1%, 2%, 3%. And over time, those little percentage increases really make a big difference in that conversion rate. It's great to see you have around 3,000 reviews, 4.5 stars. So obviously it's a great product, great reviews. Your infographics look really good. Yeah, definitely looks really good. You got some lifestyle image, you got a couple of videos, user testimonials, you filled out your bullet points. Looks like you got the A+ content going, which is great. You got some SEO in here as well. Perfect. Looks really good. So, say you split test your main image for a while and you finally, you found the main image you want to stick with, you can start to split test your A+ content as well. Say change a couple of the graphics and, just see what type of difference it makes. And you can do that by going to brands and then going to manage experiments. Listing looks really good. Let's jump into your campaign manager. First thing we do with each one of our clients is we'll create a portfolio for each parent ASIN. Looks like you currently have the 2 parent ASINs. Looks like you're only advertising on this, on the wedge. We can go back here, and looks like you only had 131 impressions on this one. Looks like it's just a pillowcase cover for the parent listing. So, you may even be able to just add this as part of the parent listing as a variation, just so people could see. Or you could do like a what's the word for it? Virtual bundle. So it shows up right down here. You could do a virtual bundle of the pillow and the case all together, so people can buy them both together. And plus, it takes up some inventory on your listing, so it'll push some of the ads further down the page instead of being right here. And you'll have that virtual bundle right here, and it'll just kind of push some of your competitors' ads down the page, which might help for people not to scroll down that far. All right, so we talked about the portfolio. When we name a portfolio, we'll have a product identifier. We can call it SN for, and then we'll just do SN dash what the product identifier is, and then all the ads for that parent listing will go inside of that portfolio. And obviously with the one product you're advertising on right now, it's not a big deal, but as you grow, as you create more products and we launch more ads, more portfolios, it's easier to keep that started in the beginning So it continues to be organized with growth. So, and then going on to campaign naming nomenclature, what we'd like to do is we'll take that product identifier that we chose. If it's SN, we'll just do SN at the beginning of each campaign name, and then we'll do space dash space. And then for sponsored products, we'll do SP, space dash space, and then we'll do the match type, if it's exact, broad, phrase, auto, product targeting, category targeting, whatever the ad type is inside that campaign. And then we'll do space dash space, and we'll do the purpose of the campaign, whether it be for defensive, branded, ranking, competitor targeting, brand awareness, whatever the purpose of the campaign is. And at the end, we'll do space dash space, and we'll do the source of what's inside that campaign. If all these keywords inside the campaign came from Helium 10 keyword research, we could put H10. If it came from your search term report, we could put STR. And just whatever the source is of the keywords, we'll put that at the end. So we do product identifier, ad type, match type, purpose, source. And then we stick to that naming convention across the board. So as you get more campaigns, obviously right now with 4, it's not a big deal. But as we launch more campaigns for you, if you came out as a client, you could easily come in. Especially, it makes it easier for the clients to understand what's going on. You come in, you read the name of the campaign, you know exactly what the purpose is, what's inside of it, what type of ad type it is, and then you scroll over, look at the performance. And then scrolling over here, we like to start off each campaign with a minimum of $100 budget. Looks like you really, took that in, and you have some pretty high budget, which is good. Looks like you paused these ones, and then you have just this one running since 2019, and you really haven't created very many other campaigns. So just by seeing how long these have been running, you haven't really done much else. We could definitely 100% help you to increase your revenue through ads on Amazon. So let's come over here, and then as we see, good return on ad spend, we continuously increase the budget, which I'm guessing you have been doing. So let's jump into some of your campaigns here. So obviously it's been paused and nothing has happened in the last 30 days. So obviously we're not going to be able to look at any performance, but we can kind of look at what's inside that campaign. We recommend doing one ad group per campaign because this budget is set at the campaign level. And until Amazon gives us the control to set the budget at the ad group level, we want to do one ad group per campaign because Amazon will not divvy up the budget evenly across multiple ad groups. So we like to hold on to that control and just run one ad group per campaign. We go into placements, and then this is where you could put a bid adjustment for certain placements on Amazon with sponsored products. So this top of search first page, there's the 4 sponsored product positions at the top of page 1 for each search results page. And this will only give us data for times when our bid or when our product ad showed up at the top of search on page 1 for whatever search term we're going after. So you could do a bid adjustment and increase your bid by a certain percentage to go top of search. And normally that's a good idea for ranking purposes. And a lot of times the top of search is the best performance placement that you could have. So we like to test adding the bid adjustment to the top of search and seeing what kind of click-through rate and conversion rate we get. And then we could increase it as we see the performance is doing well. Same thing with product pages. If your goal is to go after product pages, you could increase the bid adjustment for that, depending on performance. And then rest of search, you can't adjust, but you could see the performance on the rest of search here. All right, let's jump into the ad group. Let's jump into targeting. Okay, looks like not too many keywords, about 15 keywords in this campaign. All exact match, very relevant. So this is, definitely a good campaign to go. And when you name this campaign, instead of just saying campaign side sleepers, which is good, it looks like you're going after people that sleep on their side. You could do, the product identifier, SN, space dash space, SP, space dash space exact for exact match, space dash space, the purpose is side sleepers. So then you could put side sleepers so we know that this campaign is going after side sleepers. And then you could put the source at the end if that's applicable. All right. So obviously this has been paused, so we can't see any performance. It's all exact match, so we don't need to look at any of the search terms. But you want to come in, look at things like your cost per click. If we open this, you could look at your impressions, your click-through rate, cost per click, ACoS, and we're not going to see any data in here, but we'll go through that with your one campaign that's performing well. But you could look at your cost per click and adjust your bid based on your cost per click, say in the last 30 days, last 14 days, whatever is the best time frame to adjust your bids depending on how much data is rolling in for each keyword. All right, and you can look at the top of search impression share to see how much your ad is showing up at the top of search. And if it's doing well, you may want to adjust that top of search bid modifier and increase that for certain campaigns. Let's jump into this next one. So this one's also paused. You could look at the campaigns, but we're not going to see any data. One ad group, perfect, just like we see. So this is going after your FBM listing, which is also good for, say you run out of stock with FBA, it would be good to run an FBM ad because it might perform, differently than your FBA. It's just wedge pillow broad. And, this would be good to just run some broad keywords for your FBA listing too. This is a single keyword campaign just for broad. And obviously it hasn't been running, so we can't really look at it, but you can look at the search terms here and see what search terms are coming out from that broad match keyword. Let's jump over here. This one is also paused, no data. You could check out the placements. We could jump in here. This says browse. So let's open this up and see what you have going on inside this browse campaign. Targeting. Okay, so it looks like this is all broad match too, which is good. So snoring pillow, wedge pillow, really high bid. Obviously at some point this did perform. You can go back to lifetime here. I go lifetime here and see what kind of performance I could see. So lifetime, let's add some columns in here. Looks like I got most of the columns I need. Cost per click, it was $3.62. You didn't spend much either. So lifetime, you only had 3 orders here. You spent $26 at a $5 cost per click. Not very many impressions. So it looks like you paused some of these pretty quickly. Not really too much data in here, but it has a really good ROAS. So, definitely keep your bid high and keep letting sales come in. Looks like wedge pillow, you spent the most. Cost per click was $4.74 with a decent ROAS. 54% ACoS, same thing here, 44%. So what you want to do then is say your goal is to have, say, a 30% ACoS. What you want to do is lower the bid below the cost per click. At Trivium, what we do is use an iterative method where we raise and lower the bid a little bit at a time to see the performance and find that perfect sweet spot towards your targets for each keyword. So now we can jump into search terms. And we can't see it because it won't let us go lifetime on these. You can only go the last 65 days. But jumping into this campaign here. So this is the one that is running for you, with a budget of around almost $1,300. And it looks like you have multiple ad groups. And what happens is, that budget is set at $1,300 daily. But as you see, some campaigns get lots of spend, some get very little, some get none. And it's when you just set, like this one isn't paused, it's for pregnancy and it's getting zero attention. And say if you want to, say, throw more budget at certain ad groups, you can't because the budget is set at the ad group level. So what we like to do and what we would do is once we get you on a client, we'll start to separate these as much as possible, launch more campaigns, get some of these launched into new campaigns. And then as we start to take these out of this campaign and really perform well in the other ones, we start to slow down, lower the bids, or pause them in this campaign. Obviously, we wouldn't pause anything until we, have completely launched new campaigns and get you all optimized towards, what we do with our system. But what I could do is jump into some of these campaigns. We can go into placements first. So placements, you have 100% bid adjustment for the entire campaign. And with all these ad groups, it's a little hard to control this, but obviously it's working decently at a 2.8. But it may not be working on all ad groups, all keywords, and it's a little hard when you have everything all in one campaign like this. So we like to get a little bit more granular and separate that so we can control, say, the top of search on individual keywords, individual smaller groups. What we'd like to do is run 5 keywords or 5 product targets per campaign, 1 ad group per campaign. So now instead of having all these targets in one campaign, 1 budget, 1 set of placement modifiers, by only having 5 keywords or 5 targets per campaign, it gets a little bit more targeted and granular, so we have way more control that way. But obviously this is doing good, so you want to keep it going. All right, let's jump into ad group and go through a few of these. Let's start at the highest sales one. I could just get rid of some of these other tabs here since you're not running those. Okay, so jump into targeting. So it looks like browse too. So like the name of it isn't very descriptive, but it looks like it's more of a discovery type ad group, going after phrase and broad. We like to run exact in one campaign, phrase in one campaign, broad in another. They do perform differently, so we like to separate those as much as possible. But it's good, this is not bad. Phrase and broad do perform pretty similar, so it's not bad to keep them in the same campaign. And you don't have too many keywords in that ad group, but you have a lot in a single campaign. So let's add some columns into here. Let's go cost per click, ACOS, impressions. And we see they're all getting, a decent share of impressions, tons of orders coming out of this campaign. We can sort by return on ad spend and then kind of look at the bid. So your cost per click was $2.64 here and your bid was $1.44. So it seems, depending on what your goal is. So let me kind of look. So your cost per click, $1.81. So it looks like you really lowered your bids quite a bit. But your top of search impression share is also at 100%. So we would think about this as like double. So obviously 9 times 2 would be $1.81. So you are, 9 times 2, $1.80. So this is pretty aligned with your top of search impression share. I'm sorry, your top of search bid modifier. So $2.66, right around $3. So yeah, you want to optimize this towards that as well. But what we would normally do is just optimize it based on the cost per click and say, up this bid to say $2 and then see how it performs, up this, because you're not only going to get sales at the top of search, you're also going to get them, at rest of search, product pages. So you want to, take everything into consideration when you're optimizing bids, but also these are phrase and broad match. So we'll look at search terms as well, but your cost per click was 205 and you have a really good, decent ROAS. I assume, like say your goal is 30%, say set this bid at 210 and then see how it performs, come back, measure the data, adjust the bid. Even Amazon is suggesting a little bit higher bids here for you. So let's jump into search terms and see, why is that not showing up? Okay, you got a couple. You have negative phrase and exact for acid reflux pillow. All right, let me download your report in a minute and we'll look at search terms. It's not showing me inside this campaign. We'll go back to this campaign 1 and then we'll check out the next ad group. Okay, it looks like this one is for acid reflux. The other ad group was not going after acid reflux. So it looks like this is the opposite. So this one is targeting, should be acid reflux. Looks like you have broad phrase and exact mixed in this campaign together. You have a great, ROAS here, 13% ACOS. Your bid is 88 cents. Your cost per click is $1.65. And yes, because you're probably showing up quite a bit at the top of search for this, which will help with ranking, but we'll talk a little bit more about being a little bit more granular. We like to use, a lot of exact match campaigns for ranking purposes. The cost per click $1.50. Your bid's at $1.99. So that's good. So we would definitely optimize this based on the cost per click and up these bids a little bit and continue to watch the performance here. optimize it for this. Then also check out that top of search. But like I said, it's hard when you have all these different keywords using one top of search bid modifier. All right, let's see if we can check out your search terms in this one. All right, so this, sometimes with older campaigns, it won't let you see some of the search terms that are coming out of it. So I'll check out one more of these for bed wedge. Jump into targeting. Okay, so this is a single keyword ad group for broad, for bed wedge. $1.60. Your bid's 99 cents. Return on ad spend is good. So yeah, definitely continue to increase this bid. And what we would normally do is say this was one ad group, single keyword, one campaign. We'd be able to control the budget on this as well. And you see it's really performing good. We'll not only increase the bid, we'll increase the budget, look at the top of search modifier, and increase everything as it performs really well. And then we could measure your ranking and see where your rankings are for, say, bed wedge keywords on a daily basis and look at that. So let's jump back into campaigns here. I can even do it from here. And then we'll go into measuring and reporting. We'll go to reports. And it looks like someone is consistently downloading your search term reports. Looks like there was a time in July where nobody downloaded it. That's something we'll do maybe once a week. We'll download your search term report and continue to launch campaigns based on what's coming out of there. So this is sponsored products. I see you are brand registered and you're not taking advantage of sponsored brands or sponsored display. So we would definitely get everything handled, get everything optimized for sponsored products, launch a lot more keywords into different campaigns, and then start launching what's performing really well across sponsored brands, sponsored display, and really maximize your ad revenue on Amazon and start to increase your brand presence on the platform. All right, so this was from 2 days ago, so I'll just download this report and we'll go over this. Okay, open this up, add a filter. Well, we only want to look at broad and phrase. We want to get rid of exact. Obviously, you could also create an auto campaign, and that would also be in here. All right. You know what? While I talk about the auto, there's one more thing. When we launch an auto campaign, let me jump back into that. When we launch an auto campaign, say we go to create a campaign, sponsored products. A lot of times we'll create our campaigns in a bulk file, but just to kind of show you how you can do it in here, automatic targeting campaign, put it, say $100 a day budget, dynamic bids down only for auto campaigns, add your, this is the case, so add your pillow, so add that in there. And then you see this right here, set bids by targeting group. What we do is we'll create 4 separate auto campaigns to get really targeted because it's all these different, close match, loose match, substitutes, and complements perform differently. So we'll create one campaign with close match, another campaign with loose match, another campaign with substitutes, another campaign with complements. We have one campaign, one ad group, one targeting group. And that really helps with control. We can set the bids and the budgets on each targeting group level. So if you do go ahead and launch targeting groups, that's what we've seen over time perform the best. All right. So you see, you can set your bid at whatever you want. You can use Amazon suggested. We'll kind of look at your cost per click across your account and, set the bid based on what we've seen you perform really well at in the past. You can launch into different marketplaces if you're trying to sell in those marketplaces. If not, you can shut that off. Add a negative keyword list if necessary. We kind of like to test everything out and add the negatives as they come in. But right there, you can go ahead and launch this. But first, you would want to set that naming conventions, SN, space dash space. And then we put SP. auto, say you could name it discovery, and that's it. You could end it there. And then we know it's for, oh, I'm sorry. Let me add one more thing in here. Close. So we know it's a close match. We got product identifier, SP for sponsored products, auto campaign, close match, discovery. That's it. And then we launch the campaign. One campaign, one ad group, one parent listing, one targeting group, and then we'll launch the campaign, and then that's how it'll run. Adjust the bids, adjust the top of search placements once we get this campaign running. All right. We launch it in a bulk file, so it wouldn't be here. We'd be able to get it done a lot faster. Launch all 4 campaigns at the same time in a bulk file. All right, coming in here, let's go return on ad spend, if it lets me. All right, go high to low, largest to smallest. So this is, this is super high return on ad spend here. We go largest to smallest, where we see where you've been really profitable on certain customer search terms in the last 30 days. So coming in here, you see 10 wedge pillow USA made, 1 impression, 1 sale, 100% conversion rate. And it's really performing well. So we come across all these keywords, very low impressions with sales. And then you can kind of come over and see 1 impression, 1 click, click-through rate, spend, total sales. You can see the sales number here. You can see the orders here. So like this one, 39 orders for 8-inch wedge pillow for acid reflux. That's another thing. We would launch, several campaigns for just your branded keywords, and that way, for any time someone types in words, you're showing up for it. So this is a broad keyword for acid reflux, and you're showing up for acid reflux. So you definitely want to really control your branded search terms with sponsored products, sponsored brands, so your competitors can't steal your sales. So obviously you're going to have, really good performance on your own search terms because this person is looking for your specific product. But we want to grab all these keywords where you've performed really well and continuously, week by week, continue to launch campaigns. That way we can control these individual search terms, control the bids, control the budgets, control the impressions. So instead of just getting 2 impressions in 30 days, you can get a lot more because you're targeting it in, say, an exact match form. So what you could do is start to grab these. So grab these 5, launch these in an exact match campaign, only 5 keywords per campaign. And if you want to launch them in broad and phrase as well, be a little bit more aggressive, you can go ahead and do that. But 5 keywords at a time, grab 5, launch it in 1 campaign, grab 5, launch it in 1 campaign. Then when you come across terms like, which is your branded, you would grab all the branded search terms, launch them in their own campaigns, because we don't like to, commingle the performance of branded and non-branded search terms because they have different goals for those types of campaigns. All right, you got, tons of keywords in here where you performed really well and had tons of sales. As we're going through, let's just keep scrolling down. Last 30 days coming out of these broad and phrase campaigns, you've had sales on 387 keywords. So these are potential, a lot of potential campaigns that can be launched with 387 keywords across tons of ad groups. Tons of campaigns. All right, so that's something we do on a weekly basis. We grab the search term report, we grab all the keywords, make sure they're not already launched in campaigns and performing. And if they are launched, we don't add those, but we grab new keywords, start to launch them in new campaigns, and really get your ads and your market share across all these different search terms on Amazon. And then we track that organic rank and try to, launch some ranking campaigns and get you ranking organically for these keywords as well, which will increase your organic sales and lower your total ACoS, which is a metric for sort of profit. All right, so this is for sponsored products. There's also search term reports for sponsored brand and sponsored brands video. Once we help you get some of those campaigns launched, also we'll launch the broad and the phrase match and do this, on a weekly basis for those other ones, continuously launching campaigns and really increasing your revenue through Amazon PPC. So these are all the profitable search terms in the last 30 days. But if we go by spend, large to small, and then I could just do 0 orders. So now we see. So you spent $67 in the last 30 days on memory foam wedge pillow. And this may be highly relevant to your keyword or to your product, but it's just not performing well in this specific broad match campaign. So what we would do is go ahead and add this as a negative keyword match. So this way, this specific campaign this specific ad group and campaign will just ignore this customer search term from now on. That way we could take the $67 and put it towards more, make this campaign go out and find the profitable keywords. So this may perform really well in an exact match. It's just not performing well in this campaign. So we cut out the wasted ad spend and we launch new campaigns on what is working. So this isn't currently working, so we'll go ahead and add it as a negative exact match. What we do is we have a target acquisition price for each one of our parent listings, and we'll go ahead, once we hit that target acquisition price above it, and then we have 0 sales, we'll go ahead and add certain keywords or product target as negative. So that way this campaign will ignore it. We got sexy pillow wedge, same thing. You spent $66, no sales. A lot of these, you spent a lot of money with no sales. So by us getting rid of this, it'll cut out the wasted ad spend, lower that A cost, and then allow these campaigns to go out and find the profitable search terms. And if you see certain things that are showing up in here that are just completely irrelevant, you could add them as, say, negative exact match, like say sex. If sex was something you wanted to get rid of, you could add sex as a negative phrase match, and it would just ignore that. All right, let's get out of here. So that's a little bit about some of our processes and what you could do. Talk a little bit about Trivium. Trivium was started by our founder, Mina Elias, who launched on Amazon many years ago, launched his own brand, scaled that to over 7 figures, and really had a knack for Amazon PPC. And he went out there to try to find as much info on Amazon PPC before he realized, and he learned as much as he could, shared with everyone. Then he realized he was one of the experts in PPC. And before you know it, people just kept coming and asking him questions, and he would share and share and share. And that's when the Trivium group was born, out of necessity, because so many people were asking him to run their accounts. And we got approached by an aggregator, and we were tested across multiple other agencies, and we outperformed them. And now we run ads for that aggregator. And then, we're consistently hiring, and Mina is bringing all this team together, training every member of the team on all these strategies, and we're up to date with, what's working on Amazon in 2022. And we consistently stay up to date on, all the new programs are, rolling out, all the new metrics, just tons of stuff. So, so that's a little bit about Mina, how it started. He's an international speaker, speaks on PPC conferences everywhere, has a YouTube channel. Feel free to check that out. So the next person we have a 5-person team per client. Starts at Mina, starts at the top. Then we have the ops manager, who really is high level, pays attention to the main metrics, the sales, the ROAS, the tacos, ACOS, organic rankings, percentage of PPC sales versus organic sales towards the client's goals. And then the ops manager, focuses on that high level strategy and helps all the other team members with any of their task and with his expertise, if anything is specifically needed. And then we have the head of advertising, which gets a little bit deeper into the account, does a lot of the keyword research, so we can launch all those campaigns, have kind of a strategy for ranking and a strategy for getting you more sales. We use a product called Data Dive, to where we grab all your competitors' ASINs, we grab your ASINs, we see where your competitors are ranking on the top of page 1. We launch campaigns to get you ranking on those keywords also. We see where you're on the bottom of page 1, page 2, or page 3 organically ranked. And we launch campaigns to increase your organic rank to page 1 for those keywords also. With the same process, we do tons of competitor research, and we also launch tons of product targeting campaigns, targeting certain competitors that you can compete against and steal sales from. All right, and then we track your organic rankings and sponsor ranks on a daily basis, and we see how each little tweak we make with your PPC, see how our ranking campaigns are performing, and we see what moves the most organic ranking positions to the top, and then Yeah, we just continuously do that. And then the next person we have is the PPC strategist, who is in your account on a daily basis, launching new campaigns, downloading your bulk files, finding any low ACoS keywords or product targets and raising the bids, finding any high ACoS keywords or product targets and lowering those bids. We grab that search term report and what we'll look for. We weren't able to get to it. And then the next person we have is the data analyst, who is in your account Monday through Friday. Downloading all this data that Amazon has. We go back into reports. We download all these sponsored product reports, sponsored brands, sponsored display, and we download your business reports to track organic performance as well, and your conversion rate and all those things. We track conversion rate on a keyword level. We bring all that data into one simple spreadsheet for you to see, and we send out daily, weekly, and monthly reporting. And then for each one of our clients, we open up a Slack channel. So you have total access to us. We're totally transparent with everything we do. We're there for you Monday through Friday with any questions that you may have. And we're not like a lot of these other big agencies where you just, you hire us and you don't see us anymore. What we do is we're fully transparent, and we're more of a partner. We're like an arm of your business, and we're right there for you, right there through Slack. You need anything, you have any questions at all, we're there for you. And yeah, so that's a little bit about what we do. And then walk you through the process. If you come on as a client, the first thing we do is we get in, we create the portfolios, we rename the campaigns, add any negatives that need adding, pause anything that needs pausing. And then once we get everything organized, say the first 30 days, the next 30 days, we'll focus a little bit more on, campaign launching. We'll launch all those campaigns, say from your search term report, keep a close eye on the spend, the bids, everything. We're in your account daily, just making sure everything's going in the right direction. And then the next 30 days, once we, get all this data, then we start to measure it, and then we start to launch those ranking campaigns based on our keyword research that we've done. We get you ranked to the top of pages on all your relevant search terms, and then we start to back off on the ads a little bit and see if you could hold that organic ranking positions. And we do that on each keyword where we're trying to rank for you. All right, so, and then by ranking, it, makes you rely on PPC a little bit less, and then you'll increase your percentage of organic sales versus PPC sales once we get you organically ranked, increase profits, lower the tacos, and all that good stuff. So yeah, that's a little bit about Trivium. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to us. And what we do is we charge a $2,000 per month flat fee plus $100 per parent ASIN that we're advertising on. You just have that one parent ASIN currently, so it would be $2,000 plus it's $200 per parent ASIN, so it would be $2,000 plus $200 for the parent ASIN, so that would be $2,200 per month, and that remains fixed. So as you grow and as we increase your sales, that number remains fixed, and we become a smaller percentage of overall revenue. So anyways, good luck with your Amazon PPC advertising, and have a great rest of your day. Thank you.